A very good Saturday afternoon to you wherever you are in Asia or around the world. Delighted to welcome you to eRGP, the finale to season number 8. It's round 4. We're going around Hockenheim. Alex Young has decided to mix gold and silver categories for this season. It's rather worked because we've had so much narrative to talk about and plenty of narrative today as well. But the most important one is in gold. We've got a tie for first place at the moment.
Absolutely. Inigo Anton for Philippines tied with triple global edition champion Muhammad Ali from Singapore. So that's going to be so exciting to watch. And you're right, because we're doing single-seaters for this season, we decided to put gold, which drive these 90s styles Formula 1 car, with silver, who are driving the GP2 car. So it's quite a nice mix as we watch them go around.
Okay, let's just have a little look at the best of the highlights from round 3 that set up the scenario that we've got going into round 4.
Alistair Young with a great start. He did not have a good qualifying there, but somehow he's up to P2. Wow, because he qualified like 10th, I think. I don't think he put a lap down in qualifying, so to be up to P2 is a good job.
Well, Nico Sage likewise not giving an inch to his best friend as well, because both of these guys also kart in real life and they race each other a lot in sim racing. So I think friendship will be put aside for this one if the battle for the win is up for grabs. And Nico Sage, though, defending with all his might to prevent the Alan Drake Cruz from overtaking after a slight mistake there from Nico in the previous lap. And look at that, the amount of slipstream that Cruz got to the back of him. He might try one on the outside, but it looks as though nothing to it there. He might have to just get himself back up because he knows full well opportunity has just presented itself. It looks as though Alif may just be unprecedentedly away from the rest of the field in front, as he is doing now in race 2. So coming up through turn 15, across the crest, and to the start-finish line here, Checkered Flag will be waving, and Alif takes a win for the first time this season in the Gold Championship. And we are gonna get underway now. There we go. At the front of the grid, Michael Farrens. Beside him is Son Idu. But it looks as though both front runners have actually not had a good start, because Alif has punched his way through to the front of the field and takes it through turn 1. Alistair then also nearly going through there, coming out to 3rd place. But it's Alif from 5th place on the grid in gold class has taken the lead, as Alistair gets a big whack from Son Idu. We're seeing Paul Faustino right now, and Michael Farrens went off the track in turn 3. But it looks as though, apart from a few argy-bargy moments, oh no, spoken too soon again. Farrens has actually spun into the crowd and amazingly didn't get collected by anybody.
Okay, let's look at the on-screen action right now. Alistair Young there in 2nd position has Son Idu all over the back of him, as this is the battle for 2nd position in gold class.
Oh, Idu runs a bit wide there. Nearly came into the back of him, and Alistair was fully aware. You can see that his eyes are constantly shifting, looking left, right, and center. Where in the world is that guy in 3rd place? Nearly went to the back of him. So luckily for Idu, he had enough space coming into turn 5 to just avoid that. P2 and P3 overall and in class. This is between Son Idu and Paul Faustino. So Philippines versus Australia, and it looks as though the Australian has the bit between his teeth here. He is up to the back of the Filipino's car. Michael Farrens goes wide. Oh, he actually blocks Idu. That is it. That might just be the end of the battle for P2 there, but Alif will come across the line here and take a double at Portimao. An absolutely superlative performance from the Singaporean. Now we have to go back to that battle for P2. Will it be a conclusion that will be in favor of Son Idu or Paul Faustino? It looks as though Paul Faustino might actually get, he has actually sealed the deal. So 2nd place for Paul Faustino and 3rd for Son Idu. So that's your podium in gold.
So here's how the standings are for the silver edition. Nico Sage, based out of Malaysia, is having a terrific performance so far. 84 points, but there's 49 points available. So Alan Drake Cruz and Aldo Ray Balagulam have still got mathematical opportunities, as does Roy Xu. But we're expecting for Nico Sage to take this. Chuck Long Lee, who had a real dig at things in the copper edition that we've just seen, he's also there with an outside opportunity. In the gold, look at that. Alif and Inigo Anton both had 0 points from a one dropped round, but 91 points apiece. So what could be the spoiler in this? It could well be a lad called Cody Lkovsky. We'll tell you more about him in just a moment. The likes of Axel Mariano and Alistair and Paul Faustino, they could be spoilers in this particular series as well. in the Teams Cup. Stratos Motorsports leading the way. They've had a really good season, and the Academy. Familiar names here, but it was so important for all of these teams to keep on supporting eRGPR. Thanks for your support. We'll keep on putting the opportunities for you to race, but Stratos Motorsports running away with the Teams Cup. And in the Nations Cup, I think it's Malaysia looking pretty strong in the overall standings. 563 points coming into round 4 of Global Edition Season 8. Singapore 397, Philippines 330, Hong Kong. But also great to see the European teams there as well. Germany 39 points and Great Britain 11. And talking of Europeans, Alex, we're delighted that we've got a young lad called Lkovsky racing for us. And he's meant to be quite good, this young fella.
Yeah, so Cody Lkovsky, he is the actual FIA World Champion. We, for the Digital Cup, for the esports drivers, the FIA, the governing body of motorsports, held a World Championship just before COVID. And Lkovsky, he won it for Australia. He's now driving under the Macedonia flag. You can see him there. So great to have him. He was actually supposed to join us last round as well, but got a bit of a mix-up with live timings. Sorry, not live timings. With what time it is here, because he's driving in Macedonia. But he's with us here today, and he'll be really interesting to watch. Second at the moment, Inigo Anton's quickest. But I think it's going to be a great battle between him, Anton, and of course, Muhammad Ali.
Okay, let's very quickly look at the circuit we're going around. We're looking at Hockenheim. There's about a minute 45 for the racers to compete. The Hockenheim circuit. I love the long parabolic curve, but the Mercedes technical part and the last couple of corners is very important in this circuit.
Absolutely. Let's now go on board with a hot lap with Ayman Hakim, who drove around here in a DTM last year.
As you can see here, it's a hot lap mode. Time attack mode there. Starting on the third sector, last 2 corners here, you want to bring as much speed as possible down into the start finish straight here. You want to place your car far right to the left here to get into the first turn here. Get it right, get all the speed, get it wrong, you will lose all the speed here. As you can see here, get it a little bit of wrong there, losing a little bit of time. Into the second corner here, you want to spot your braking a little bit early here. Clip the apex and get a little bit sliding here. That's not what you want. You want to get a good exit here, because this is where the make or break of your race here. It's a long left parabolica. This is where you want to plan your overtake, plan your move, plan your dinner, plan where you want to go after the race. But do not forget, there's a braking zone into this hairpin here. You don't want to miss it and go back to the forest behind there. It's not ideal. It's not ideal where you want to go. As we exit the hairpin there, nice and smooth on the throttle here. Into the right hand king here, into the Mercedes arena here, Mercedes curve. We're driving a Mercedes. Hopefully you can hear a little bit of crowd here into the weekend here. As you can see here, second gear, third gear, a little bit of lift off to the right hand corner here. You want to eliminate the understeer. As we can see here, fourth gear, fifth gear, down into the closing to the stadium section here. You want to clip inside as much as possible here. Fourth gear, third gear, down to second here. This is where Sebastian Vettel lost his lead in the 2018 German Grand Prix here. We don't want to do that as well. As we can see here, down into the double last 2 corners here. There's a drag strip around this left hand side there if you want to know. And yeah, here we go. That's a lap of me in Hockenheim ring.
Perfect timing. We come back into the qualification and we're going to get on board with Inigo Anton. Now, Anton missed last week's race. I think he was doing some real life racing in the last round. Championship leader, 91 points. Alif, though, is a man in form. Alif is a cool dude. Has Anton got it in him to actually take his first series victory?
He's never won an eRGP championship. I don't think he's... Yeah, so he's never won a sim championship of this sort of pedigree. So this is very big for him. He wants to win it, especially when he's going up against Alif, who's won 3 titles. He's purple through Sector 1 at the moment. He loves the Benetton colors of this car. So let's see how he goes. He's going to be exciting to watch. Got so much on the line. We saw him quickest in practice as well. Obviously, you mentioned the last round. Ooh, looks good at the hairpin. Does he get a good exit? That looks about good. He missed the last round because he had real-life racing, and of course he used that as the drop round that we allow in the regulation. So he's still leading this championship. You asked the question, Des. I don't know the answer. Whoa! Inigo sliding it through that corner
He
there.
seems to love these old F1 cars, though, doesn't he? He seems to
does.
really, really enjoy throwing it around the circuit.
Yeah, you do have to throw these cars around a bit because, narrow front tires, quite a bit of understeer mid-corner. And then you got to look after the rears because they're like rocket ship coming out and you get loads of oversteer as you come out of the corners.
Well, he's what's he going to be posting? Looking inside the 120s for fast lap as he comes through into the final corner. Oh, he's run just a little bit wide there.
Oh, he got that. Was that good enough?
A 1:22.1. It's temporarily fast enough, and then Lkovsky immediately posts the fastest time. You mentioned Lkovsky. This guy is a potential spoiler for both him and the other man we've really got to keep an eye on, Mohammed Alif Hamilton. Oh, yeah. That's on board Zikri. Where is Alif?
There is Alif, actually. Let's follow him. Let's
Yes.
watch him as he finishes his lap.
So he was 500ths up in through Sector 1, or 800ths up in Sector 2. So he's still fastest.
It's going to be close.
What's not to love about those cars?
It's going to be super close, Des. I think this might be good enough for pole position. Alif attacking like the way we know he attacks. Wow, goes through the last corner, looks super good, uses all the road and a little bit. Oh, that's just right, not too much. Goes across the line.
Oh, no, he's 100th out of Lkovsky. Inigo Anton holds on to P2. Alif only in inverted commas, P3. So it's kind of advantage Inigo Anton. But there's still 3 minutes to go. There's still an opportunity for others to post a lap. But these three, Alex Young, they are so much quicker than everybody else. A second and a half quicker than everybody else.
Okay, Inigo's on a good lap. He's gone faster. We saw that first lap. He was sliding around a bit scrappy. This looks a lot cleaner by the Filipino driver. Lkovsky's also on a better lap as well. So let's see what happens. As we'll watch Inigo finish this lap, and then we'll go straight to Lkovsky.
Well, this is proper racing, this. Inigo Anton was 0.025 down, 122.3. He's fastest. He's fastest, a 122.0. At the moment, he's fastest. Now then, Lkovsky. What can Lkovsky do? Lkovsky is only P2. Inigo Anton has taken P1, but there's still time for another lap. There is still time for Alif to come even quicker than Inigo Anton.
Okay, we'll go back to Lkovsky because he's just starting a lap, and we'll go to Alif right now.
Alif is 600 down. Oh, Alif, what's going on there?
He didn't make it. He's restarting his lap. He's going to try and go a little bit quicker. He'll have just enough time to do one more time. So all three of them on one more lap.
Brilliant.
So let's see. There's Inigo Anton. There's Lkovsky. So Inigo Anton just a little bit further up the road. Ooh, look at that, Des. He's purple in Sector 1.
In the silver edition, we just need to tell you, Alan Drake Cruz is probably fastest there from Nico Sage.
That's right. Let's go back to the Alan Drake Cruz there, leading, driving from Norway. And Nico Sage goes across the line. He's got one more lap to go as well, but we have to ride on board with Inigo Anton.
Anton's fastest again.
Is he good? Sector 2's coming up. Oh, he gets that small slide. I'm not sure if that cost him any time.
We'll have a look. Sector 2 split time is coming up pretty imminently.
No, he lost a bit of time. That small slide just cost him time. Let's see if we can find some time in Sector 3.
But we are looking at hundreds of seconds here. Not tenths of second, hundreds of seconds to separate. Inigo looking very, very focused. Inigo Anton currently in pole position. Lkovsky in P2, Alif in P3 at the moment. What can Anton do? Can Anton improve his time? Yes, he can! A 1:21.8.
Okay, Lkovsky's out of it. You can see that he's sat up. He made a mistake in his last lap.
How about Alif?
Let's look at Alif, though. He's the last driver that could potentially improve.
And he's down. He's 2/10 down. Inigo Anton is going to take the slightest of advantages into the race one itself.
Wow, Alif P3. He'll be really disappointed with that. I know he's been practicing hard on ACC this week, though, so he's not had a chance to put in the time he normally does. But yeah, there he is in P3. Let's just see Alan Drake Cruz there. He holds on to his first pole position in silver class as well.
Nico Sage in P2. Alistair Young getting a P5 in gold and silver. Remember, we mix the two races together, the two classes together. So silver, they pick up 5 points for Alan Drake Cruz, 4 points for Nico Sage. Alan Drake Cruz needs Nico to have a bad day at the office for him to do a pretty good day at the office. Chuck Longley, 3 points. It's been a good day for Chuck Longley, although he'd like to maybe just get a podium place in the silver category.
Yeah, I think podium would be good for him. You know, we know he's these cars are a lot trickier to drive. Qualifying is over. There is Inigo, our pole sitter for gold class. He's tied in the championship lead with Muhammad Alif, who starts P3. He looks so calm and collected there. He's wearing that eRacing GP shirt. We send these shirts, obviously, to all our race winners. Of course, we have to thank our sponsors, Race Room, of course, for the great things they've been doing. X Park, Motorsport Playground, of course, Life will make the great shirts.
They don't make one my size, clearly.
No. extra large?
4XL. Okay, 42 seconds to go. What a race that we've got on here. Inigo Anton was in the bottom of our screen there. You can see him just pulling on his gloves, getting very, very focused. The Philippines will be very excited for Inigo Anton. We also need to be excited for Axel Mariano Nocom. In this kind of company, he is mixing it with the best. Amo Hazik joins us for the commentary. Amo, quick thoughts about Axel Mariano Nocom. We're talking about the big three, but what a performance for him to come P4.
Yeah, he's actually really close on occasions to actually get his first win of the season in gold class. So if the front three were to hit each other, he might have an opportunity.
You're quite right. He's had a P2. Right then, red lights go off. And when we get underway, we will be on board with Inigo Anton. Anton fastest, green on the right, and he's got off to a really good start, Inigo Anton, and he's taken Lkovsky with him. And I tell you what, dropping right, Muhammad Alif Hamilton has also gone with him as well. So the 1, 2, 3 have got away nice and safely. Would you prefer to be leading in this situation, Amo, or would you prefer to be Hamilton on the tail?
I'd rather be leading, to be honest, because these cars, despite them having a huge amount of power and you can actually power on the straights, it's actually not as easy to follow and overtake, so I'd rather be the one in front and hold the gap.
Okay, so there is Inigo Anton. You've just got to make sure you don't make mistakes. And Hamilton having to slam on the brakes there. Lkovsky, let's just while the race is beginning to warm up, let's go on board with Lkovsky. And this guy is an FIA champion.
Yes, he is. He's a FIA Motorsports Games champion. He got gold when they were in Italy 3 years ago, would you believe it, in 2019. So he knows his way around sim racing, but I've never seen him do race room until recently. So I'm quite surprised he actually took it up. But he's proven that he can actually be first time. And he said, "Miss, Anton goes off." Anton's actually gone to the gravel trap, and that has given Alif the lead.
Anton also goes wide. He's got to hold on to P2. Lkovsky comes on the outside. So Alif Hamilton takes advantage of a mistake that we've just seen there from Inigo Anton. I suppose if you're leading, you said you'd rather lead, but you must focus on what's ahead of you, not on what's going on behind you.
Yeah, exactly, Des. I think he might have taken his eye off the ball for a second and just thought, okay, maybe I could just gap him, but suddenly he just goes off wide and he paid the price for it. Now, that 2-point swing that he had from qualifying it's become a 5-point deficit now.
Certainly has. It's 25 points and 20 for P1 and P2. And Alif Hamilton, once he gets his nose in front, Amo, it's tough to haul him back in.
Yeah, certainly. He's kind of like Hamilton when he was in a winning car, of course. Really out in front and just running away with it. And behind Anton is Lkovsky, who had quite a poor-ish start, to be honest, because he was in second. He just let Ali through. Probably he wasn't used to actually starting these cars off the line. Now he's going to have to overtake Anton to get up to the real lead of the race.
So Lkovsky is in P3 at the moment. Inigo Anton in the old Benetton colours. But look at that. Axel Mariano Nocom is still in contention with these front three. These three in front of him are world class. And you've got a kid in the blue car who is really, really competing at this same level. This is going to be some racer.
Absolutely. And he's still got years ahead of him. In fact, decades of experience left in front of him to actually get. So really then, he is having good foundations now to become a world-class driver.
Another young racer who we need to look at in the the second level, the silver category. Nico Sage, he was second fastest in overall, in qualification. He's leading the championship by quite a margin. If he gets a victory here, the title is his.
For sure. I mean, he's already had one hand on the trophy last time I imported him out anyway. And I thought for a second that he was not going to compete, because I did speak to his father, Jean-Luc. They said that they were possibly not going to compete because they have conflicting go-kart arrangements. But glad to see Nico's here, and still, he is the class of this field.
If you've got a title on the line, I'm sure you'd turn up, because Alan Drake Cruz, he's dropped down to P15. He's the only real chance. So this silver seems to have been done and dusted very early on, which is good in some ways, it's bad in some ways, but it's good for us because it means we can focus on this battle for the championship with the wild card of Lkovsky in there to try to be a spoiler.
Indeed, and he could actually potentially be a spoiler, but at the moment, a second behind Anton and Alif. Lkovsky is not making any inroads just about yet, but for sure, maybe towards the end of the race, when he has the tires up to temperature and the fuel load is dropping, he could actually get it to the back of them, but for now, he's just hanging back.
Alif Hamilton, as Anton leaves the braking very late there, has to slam on the brakes, and Anton is able to get a good drive out, and he still leads the way, but it's only by half a second from Inigo Anton. They are on lap 3, just about to come in to finish lap number 4. Lap times are 1:25.4 is the fastest lap so far. 1:24.8 from Inigo Anton, the new fastest lap. That's interesting. That comes into play.
That's 2 extra points. So if things stand where they are, they will still be having the same amount of points coming into the last round of the season. Would you believe it?
No, it'll be 1 point.
1 point.
2 points, yeah, 1 point's difference. Alif would be on top.
Oh, yeah, because it's the 2 points from the qualifying because 5-3. Okay, so 1 point difference coming into the final round of the season.
Thank heavens for Excel.
Oh, yes. The saber of bacons.
But Alif is leading Anton. So Anton made that mistake, but he's recovered pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Alif, though, I love the lazy-eyed look on Alif Hamilton. It's all focus, it's all concentration. And there's no flickering behind, is there?
Yep, so really then, to me, Ali looks really a bit indifferent right now, probably because he's got other commitments in mind. But still, winning this championship will be proof that he could be back in power, to say the least.
Yeah, he won the first 3 editions of eRGP. Then he had to let real life intervene as he had some national service to do. But he's back close to his best. Could use a shave, to be fair.
Yeah, he looks like he has a big 5 o'clock shadow, just like this correspondent.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are pulling away. Lkovsky, Amo, isn't able to make the impact we thought he would.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because he didn't have a big moment like going off anywhere, or like what you did with Anton. He literally just went onto the gravel trap and stole his tires. But it looks as though the physics got transferred from Lkovsky to Anton. So Anton actually is now having the bit between his teeth and trying to aim for a psychological advantage here by winning this first race.
Certainly is. So Mohamed Alif is under pressure from Inigo Anton. Talk to me about the improvement that we've seen from Inigo Anton in the 2 years we've been doing eRGP. Remember, he wasn't even the best in the Philippines when we started.
Yeah, massive jump that he had, especially the fact that, remember last year, I think the big turning point in his makeup was that Watkins Glen race where he could have won on the final lap when we were DTMs. He hit the side of Mika Hakimi, smacked into the wall, and lost a potential victory right there. So I think from there might have been a huge turning point. He made him a better driver then and become a bit more circumspect.
Fantastic knowledge, fantastic memory. Well done. That's why we call him the Anorak Amo Hazik, and he lives up to that perfectly. Mohamed Alif is leading the way at the moment, but Inigo Anton really on his tail. Fastest lap is still a 1:24.5, but the last lap, Alif put in a 1:24.7. So the fastest lap could well come down again.
Indeed, we saw that last time out in the bronze class, how the fastest lap separated between those two drivers, and Alif now gets the fastest lap of the race, or is it no? It's a bit 10 off, but he has his personal best, a 24.6.
24.6. Let's just look at Axel Knockham down in P4. I'm always so impressed by this young fella because he's holding off Alistair Young, and Alistair races and he takes it pretty seriously, Alistair. And for Axel to be holding off somebody like Alistair Young tells you what a real future this kid is going to have.
Yeah, I think we've been waxing lyrical about how well he's been developing in just a couple of years. He's doing eRGP. let alone the future. As we look at the battle up in front, Alif then under severe pressure, and he's been looking quite ragged over the last few laps. We saw that happen last time out. He actually slipped, and Anton dives on the inside, takes the lead.
Inigo Anton used the switchback really well. Alif Hamilton, ragged is very unusual for Alif Hamilton, but Inigo Anton is there, then nearly tries to take the inside. That was close. That was close.
I didn't expect Alif to fight back that hard immediately, because I know for a fact that he will try to hold back a bit and regather his momentum. But in this case, he wants to really go for it, as, well, Anton now actually has the ball in his court. He is definitely rattling Alif's cage.
Wow, but you've got to put it together for the full 15 minutes, 6.5 minutes to go. Very, very briefly, I'm going to break away from this race because in the Silver Edition, Chuck Long Lee has got himself up into P2 in that particular race. He's just overtaken Mohammed Zikri, the Bronze Edition champion, unofficially. We've still got that to confirm. Nico Sage, though, is leading the way. And Nico Sage is leading the way by over 2 seconds. There's the battle for P8. As Lkovsky, something's happened to Lkovsky.
Yep.
He's gone out.
I wanted to point that out. Something happened to his car, and it looks as though he has actually stopped coming into the Mercedes Arena, into the arena section. And it might just be mechanical failure.
Well, Lkovsky, let's hope it's not an internet connectivity.
It might just be a disconnect because he is completely out of it. So really then disaster for the North Macedonian.
But it also... whoa. Bit of lagging going on there for Inigo Anton.
Yeah, indeed. That is not what he'd have wanted if it happened to him.
And a back marker as well. That's good that they've got out the way.
Nazir Asman. So Nazir then playing it quite well to let the leaders by and then continue on his own race.
So let's look bottom right. Inigo Anton. Is he looking relaxed? He's certainly looking very alert. 5 minutes to go. 2/3 part of this race, and Inigo Anton had the lead, lost the lead, got it back. He's in position to go into the final race of the season with the championship lead to his name.
He's like a Determinator, isn't he? Because he has ice-cool veins. It's almost like you dropped it. You're going to be rattled when you lose the lead just like that by going to the gravity trap. But it looks as though that didn't really faze him. He is still having the momentum to be up in front. But right now, he's got 5 minutes left to do to complete part one of the job.
He's leading, though. He's pulled out a 7.7 of a second lead, which is quite significant.
7/10, yeah, but I thought for a second that he might have lost it there, but coming out the exit onto the Parabolica, he's increased the lead. So Alif, for the moment at least, has no answer to the pace that Anton has. And they're coming up to back markers now.
They are coming up to back markers. It's an awkward position as well. Back markers got to get out the way. Anton leaves the braking lane. Again, well done. Back markers as Alif. You can see how hard Alif Hamilton is having to work there in the pursuit of Inigo Anton. What a battle this is. 1 and 2 in the championship. 1 and 2 in the race. One of 2 races today. These two are really having a ding-dong humdinger of a battle.
Absolutely. It's without a doubt the highlight of the season. And we've had quite a few races where they came close together, especially in Sepang. That's probably the closest that we have ever seen Alif and Anton come close to a collision. But at the moment, at least, they're keeping each other a bit of breathing space to prevent that sort of thing happen, especially at the most crucial juncture of the season.
Yeah, Lkovsky, we can confirm, is out. We hope he's able to check back in. Nico Sage is leading the Silver Edition by quite a margin, 2.4 seconds from Long Lee from Hong Kong. That's Long Lee in the blue and Mohammed Zikri in P3. Let's go back up into our particular race. Oh no, let's have a look at Paul Faustino and Son Idu. We shouldn't forget that there are other racers, and it's also great to see Alex Zapp appearing for Germany. We're loving the international commitment that we've got for ERGP.
Yeah, absolutely. It just is the most cosmopolitan league in the world, I would say.
Fantastic. Long may that continue. Back up to the front, though. Philippines versus Singapore. Anton versus Alif. The old Benetton colours leading the way. All those tyres giving way.
I think that was just a deliberate way of going to the corner, because I saw Alif doing that before. That didn't give him time. But for Anton, he still manages to gap himself to Alif. And look, it's now 1.3 seconds. So really, he's found a way to drive this car around this circuit.
0.3 faster on the last lap, Inigo Anton, than Alif Hamilton. And look at that, he's pulled a 1.3 second lead.
Well, not to say that Alif's given up the ghost, because you know full well that we still have a race to look forward to. But First blood to Inigo in qualifying, and then the second blood in the race itself. So really then, Anton is the one who has this championship to lose.
And it's reverse grid race, let's not forget, in the in race number 2. Do they mix up the classes in reverse grid?
No, they don't.
So it's reverse grid gold, reverse grid silver.
So they don't have the intricacies of trying to overtake a slower class on the way to the front of the grid. So at least they don't have to worry about that. They just have to worry about drivers in their own class.
Which is 9 drivers in the gold class. We are on board with Muhammad Alif Hamilton, but he is 1.5 seconds down. Back marker gets out of the way. Inigo will not want a back marker to get in his way here. Who is that back marker?
Michael Farrens. That was Michael Farrens in the V12 cars of this one. They're driving V8s because apparently drivability in the V8s is way better than the other 2 engines.
1:39 to go. Back marker, please get out of the way, says Inigo Anton. A quiet little prayer from the Philippines, and it's successful. Anton, what a drive this has been. Fastest lap, a 1:24.1. He's just posted the fastest lap of the race.
5/10 faster than Alif. Alif has no answer for that right now. And it looks as though pole, the win, and the fastest lap, the first part of a Grand Slam, is already belonging to Anton. This looks definitely good for him.
Where are we? There's going to be one more lap after this, isn't it? They're going to complete this lap. Just about, yeah, they completed quite comfortably. And then there will be one lap after that where Inigo Anton has to make sure. He doesn't need to be perfect, he just needs to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, and the only other thing to worry about is just the back markers, because the silver class also comes into play. Such is the short nature of Hockenheim that you literally have back markers in a 15-minute race. That's amazing.
It certainly is. It also shows you how quick these front 2 are. Inigo Anton leads the way from Muhammad Alif. Axel Nocom is a long way down in P3, but he is in P3. Alice has dropped behind Paul Faustino and Son Idu, and Alex Zapp is in P7. Michael Farrens and Lkovsky have both dropped out quite a bit. Lkovsky, is he? No, Lkovsky is out of the race completely.
Yeah, he's just chilling right now. We're looking at our own third screen here. He's actually chilling by, waiting for race 2 to start. So that might have been some issue with the connection because he is racing from Europe right now. But we haven't had problems in the past, so probably it's just a freak moment of packet loss that prevented him from racing.
There is the lead that Inigo Anton has coming into the final lap. Well, he's well into this final lap. Muhammad Alif Hamilton will have to settle for second place.
Oh, that's a crabbing silver car. I think that might be Francis Angel Gonzalez, and it is. So Francis is not having a good couple of rounds anyway. But Anton then on the way to a race 1 victory.
So, Inigo Anton, it is going to be perfect. It's going to be fastest lap as well. That'll move him on to 123 points. And there it is. He will have a 9-point advantage going into the final race of the season. Inigo Anton, the job is done. He relaxes, but he knows there's still work to do. But it means that he doesn't have to race against Alif. He just has to race against himself.
Yes, and by mental arithmetic, because it's 9 points, it has to be at least at best 5th. Anton needs to finish 5th or better to secure the title. Alif has to win at all costs.
And I can confirm, incidentally, that Nico Sage has actually gone and won the championship in the silver class. Nico Sage comes over the start-finish line. This is a brilliant performance by young Nico. He will take the victory. Nico Sage, for him, this has been a really, really good season. This will be his 4th consecutive race 1 win.
Yep.
This is a commanding performance from young Nico.
Absolutely. He has a certain je ne sais quoi about him, to be honest.
Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais pas.
Bon, oui. So really then, it's no surprise that he's going to come across the line to win here and win the silver championship. Bravo!
Bravo, young fella, indeed. So there is a title won. There is a smile. I'm sure that will be the first of many titles. So the victory, Inigo Anton and fastest lap. Alif second, Axel Nocom on the podium for 7-Star Garage in P3. Faustino, Son Idu, Alistair and Alex Zapp completing the top 7. Nico Sage, Longley, another good performance from Longley. Mohamed Zikri in P3. Alan Drake Cruz recovering to P4. Noma Riparip in P5. Well, so we ought to at some stage try to talk to Nico, though probably after the next race.
Yep, très bien.
And we dare not talk to Inigo or Alif at this stage.
Yeah, we don't want to because the focus is still on. They're still in very hyper-focused state, so we do not want to break that momentum that they have that comes into the second race.
So it means you're going to have to do with us two just for the next couple of minutes, and while we get ready for race number 2, Inigo, Anton. Wow, that's seriously good.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we had these two race together, they were like the class of the field, but Alif was just slightly better off than Inigo at that time. But it looks as though Inigo has turned up the wick and really gave the fight to Alif, and Alif has no answer to that at this current juncture.
Just astonishing the improvement from Inigo Anton. If he looks after himself, if he stays out of problems, he's guaranteed a victory. If he gets a podium, he's won it.
Yeah. In fact,
no, not quite. Actually,
fifth place.
15, 12, yeah, top five, and he's won it.
Top 5 and is enough. And judging by the way that how they were ahead of the rest of the field, it looks as though that job may be easier done than also said.
Again, Lkovsky might still come in as a wild card, as a spoiler. Alistair Young is able to put in good lap times as well in race number 2. We are 30, though, so there's a slight problem with our
live timing
there, with our live timing.
We have got a bit of live timing problems, and the server has somehow reset itself. But I think by right we should have all the grip positions sorted for race number 2.
We should do. We'll just sort this out. Apologies on this, ladies and gents. Okay, we are back live. The race has started. We missed the first minute and a half. Sorry about that. We just like to keep you on your toes. What's happening? Well, Mohammed Alif is straight into the lead, but he's not the man who we really ought to be keeping a focus on. Our focus should be on this man, Inigo Anton, because he is the man who took a 9-point lead coming into this final race of the season. There are 15 points plus 2 points for a fastest lap, so 17 points maximum available for Alif Hamilton. That means 8 points required. Actually 9 points required, so 10 points, which is
P3. So at best, Anton's in the position right now. He is in third, and he's doing the minimum requirement that he needs to do to actually clinch this title away from Alif. But the job's still not done yet. He still has 12 and a half minutes left to go in this race.
Now there will be a story if his Filipino teammate Axel Nockham was to knock him out of P3. That would, I'm sure that would have an international consequence in the Philippines.
It would need a tribunal at The Hague to resolve that.
Indeed. Just we'll break away from Nico Sage. He is the champion of the Silver Edition. Congratulations to Nico Sage, as he's just involved in a little bit of aggro there with Alex Zapp.
Zapp actually got hit by Sharik Zulkarnain, so Sharik just eased him off into the barrier, just like how Vettel got hit into the wall in 2018.
So this is the champion of Silver, but the man who's leading that particular race is Sharik Zulkarnain from FSA Racing in car number 7 in the blue vehicle. But Nico Sage will be trying to get close. Nico Sage doesn't need to win, but I'm sure Nico Sage would like to go out with a victory. In fact, let's just ride on with Nico. Oh, tell you what, Inigo Anton, he is chasing Alistair Young, and Anton moves into P2 ahead of Alistair Young. Oh, Alistair tries the switchback, doesn't quite come off, so we've now got an outright leader in the ERGP Gold Class final race of the season. This is your potential champion. If he holds this position for the next 11 minutes, he will be taking the title for the first time.
Wow, we taking the fight to Alif. How often do we say that in the ERGP series? We've not seen that in the first 3 seasons when Alif romped the titles, apart from a couple of close shaves, especially with Naki Bazlan. But now, literally, like for like, he is actually being matched, if not beaten slightly, by Anton in most of the departments.
We're on board with Alif at the moment. Just talk to me about his driving style at the moment. I mean, you said he was a little bit ragged in race number 1. I didn't see it, but I don't have a racing driver's eyes. What are you seeing as being ragged about his work?
If you see the car slip slightly for coming through the corners on power, that means that he wanted to get on the power early, but the car just doesn't want to comply to it. So he is actually pushing the car, and he just couldn't get it to turn. So in that race 1, when he was ahead of Anton, he looked really ragged. He just couldn't keep Anton behind. But it looks as though in the second race, he's doing the complete opposite, and he managed the gap himself and Anton at this point in time.
Amo Hazik with the analysis there. Great analysis as well, though. Inigo Anton, though, I tell you what, he's just responded to by posting the fastest lap of the race, a 1:24.8. So Muhammad Alif needs the win, needs fastest lap, needs Inigo to muck up in some way, shape or form. He's gutting the win, but he doesn't have the fastest lap, and Inigo doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Nope, he doesn't. And the fact that the only ever time that we saw Anton put a foot wrong was when he actually went off coming into the stadium section. That's where he went into the gravel, lost the lead, but he managed to recoup that quite nicely and pretend as if it never happened. Right here.
Let's have a look at Inigo Anton. There he is in P2. Alistair Young it is who's trailing back in P3. But just keep it nice and easy. Slip sliding away, just control your race. I tell you what, he's got a lot of supporters on Facebook in the Philippines, and there will be celebrations on the streets of Manila tonight.
Absolutely. And to take a bit of the sting away from the battle for first and second, we unfortunately don't have Cody Lkovsky for the second race. He looks as though he has not appeared for the second race.
Well, it was pretty good until he had one or two gremlins, but I'm sure both Alif and I'm particularly sure Inigo will be particularly happy about that.
They'll be absolutely relieved. And we can actually see right now on our third screen that he is hanging back. So I think he's just calling it a day. For now, he's going to move on to doing other things. There he is. That's Nico Lkovsky, the FIA Motorsports Games champion from 2019.
I do like the fact he's not just disappeared out of it, that he's showing an interest in the race. I do like that respect he's showing to these other racers. I'm also liking the fact that Alistair Young is in a bit of a race with Axel Knockham. Axel Knockham, again, wax lyrical, please. This is our last chance this season. He is in the gold class. What is he, 11 years of age?
10 this year.
10?
Yeah, 10 this year.
Positive veteran.
Yes. And also the fact that he's had a couple of podiums this year, and last time out, or actually 2 rounds ago in Silverstone, he gave Anton quite a huge scare when he led for quite a while before Anton fought back. But he really could give the fight to him when he had the opportunity.
Back up to the silver edition, and Nico Sage has got himself into the lead. He's just gone around the outside of Sarik Sulkanen. We said he'd like to finish the season with a victory. It looks like young Nico Sage is going to get that victory. Again, I look at the screens and I can't actually believe that what I'm seeing is a driver that young performing with that maturity on the circuit.
Absolutely. It's almost, it deceives you in a way, doesn't it? Because you think that, oh, okay, we're seeing a guy named Nico Sage. Big deal. He might just be one of those other fast guys. But then when you see that the age comes into play, it shows that, whoa, they are really maturing quite fast, and they could actually just have more room for improvement in the future.
Just fantastic. So ERGP will continue. We're now into our 3rd year of operations. This is season 8. You had the E1 Championship, you had the Endurance Championships, in which we're 2/6 of the way through another long season. And we hope to be introducing more and more young lads like this into the racing scene. Muhammad Alif is leading the way. He's going to go out with a bang. It's typical Alif. Even if he can't win the championship, he's going to win the race and give it his best shot.
Yeah, indeed. He would not do any questionable tactics. Remember, he has the namesake Hamilton. We saw that in 2016 where Nico Rosberg was on the cusp of winning the title. He backed off, wanted to force the other drivers to overtake, and it didn't work. So I don't see Alif doing that here. He's going to win it fair and square, come what may.
How dare you take the name of Saint Hamilton in vain? It's not allowed. But Alif leading the way. Fastest lap still, though, belongs to Inigo Anton. Inigo, a 1:24.5. Oh, no, 1:24.4. I apologize. So, Muhammad Alif, he looks like, right, okay. So, Inigo needs to make sure he focuses for the remaining 6 minutes.
Yeah, he would just take the consolation of getting the fastest lap and try to win the race. Anton would not be bothered by that one bit. He would definitely be assured for the fact that he is going to win this title. And second place right now is more than the requirement that has been set for him.
And he's a good 6 seconds clear of Alistair Young, who's in P3. Be good for Alistair to pick himself up a podium. Again, he's a consistent competitor at ERGP. Has been since the very start. Maybe doesn't get the results his dad would like him to get, but he's always competitive there, is Alistair. And Axel Knockham has just been knocked off his perch a little bit into P4. Paul Faustino. Again, another regular competitor from Team Garo in the Philippines. We don't often focus on Paul Faustino because he's rarely in the top 5 or 6. But again, you need these competitors to push the others, Amo.
Absolutely. And for Paul, for example, he's just a matter of he could try to get the results here and there, pick up points, and crucially, even podiums when the going gets tough. And then there's some people who actually fall off and get some opportunities there. So for him, it's just a matter of consistency.
Certainly is. We have got 4.5 minutes to go of this season. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch and on Facebook. It's great to get your comments. It's great to get your participation. Mohammed Alif Hamilton is still leading the way. The green Benetton colours of the champion-elect Inigo Anton. Anton, for the first time, looking to win an ERGP season. Short season though it is, you've still got to be consistent in 3 out of the 4 rounds. You've still got to produce your very best, and they slide around. Bit of a stock car stuff there.
Yeah, it's almost like 90s stock cars where those cars just barely turn anyway. So really, that's how you had to wring the necks of these cars to get around corners and firewall the throttle on the way out of it.
So Alif still leads the way. Let's get on board with Inigo Anton. 4 minutes to go. Also, let's go down the list. We went down the list. We had Son Idu is in P6. We haven't really mentioned Michael Farrant, who's a new guy to me, but Michael in the old Ferrari red on medium tyres. Everybody else, all the F1 cars have taken medium tyres, but he'll be enjoying playing at this level.
Yeah, indeed, and he's been with us since the first round of the 8th season, based in Shanghai, and looks as though he's loving racing here in Asia.
Well, there's not a lot else to do in Shanghai at the moment, is there?
Can't say that.
Okay, Nico Sage leads the way in the silver edition. The champion, Zulkernan in P2. Nazir Asman has got himself up into P3 because Long has fallen off. Chuck Longley has fallen off into P4. Alan Drake Cruz is challenging for P5, and Mohammed Zikri down in P6.
Yeah, we're looking at Drake Cruz right now. There he is, focusing, trying to get up to P4 in the race for the silver class, and fighting with Chuck Longley, who was in the wars in the bronze category just now. Just a shame for him to lose the chap show after such a disappointing race 2. Actually, it looks as though race 2 is not his forte because he performs well mostly in race 1.
Alan Drake Cruz, as you say, he's had a very, very decent season. He'll still come second in the overall championship standings. He's picked up a P2 in 3 races actually. It's only Nico Sage who is head and shoulders above him. So you're quite right, it's been a very respectable season for Alan Drake Cruz.
And for Nico likewise, worst finish he's had is a 3rd. He's never been off the top 3 throughout the entire season. That is the statistics that make champions look really good.
Okay, let's get back into the gold class. And I tell you what, Inigo Anton is just closing the gap a little bit. He's maybe wanting to go out in a blaze of glory. Let's hope it's not truly a blaze and he actually controls things. Well,
speaking of control, he definitely has control of that car. A 24.2 was the fastest lap that he's had. Last time it was 24.3, while Alif was a 24.4. So they're matching each other's lap times up to the 10th of a second up in front here.
Inigo Anton does have the fastest lap. So that takes that'll add just a little bit of gloss. I'm sure he'd love the double win. But he won the important race. Race number 1 on the 25 points. That's so important to win.
Indeed. And that was the one that pretty much gave him the impetus to actually go ahead in the second race and just hang back a bit, because he knows full well that he's got one hand on the trophy. Just doesn't need to throw it away because of that.
1 minute and 20 remaining of this season. Don't forget, we've got endurance season. We'll be announcing season 9 imminently. And we will keep going on season 9. And there's talk of spring championships and all kinds of Alex Young creativity, just to keep everybody's interest high on ERGP. We're also trying to spread the globe. Alex Zapp from Germany. And the Italians are being involved as well. So we're just trying to spread it. Maybe we look at changing the start times for 1 or 2 of these races, just to put more pressure on your Inigo Antons and your Alifs and your Nakibs, etc. Nakib, who's not racing this season.
Yeah, it's quite a shame that I see him here, but of course he's got actual real-life commitments as well. In fact, for most of these guys, the real-life racing scene is also beginning. Like, for example, Anton, last time out, he couldn't join because of real racing, and he had a great weekend because of it. So really then, it's a matter of trying to balance 2 commitments in one go.
Okay, so we are coming now to the end. This will be the final lap, and Inigo Anton will close in on the back of Mohammed Alif Hamilton as they come through. They will finish this lap and the season will belong to Inigo Anton. The race will belong to Muhammad Alif Hamilton. As the time is over, Alif comes into the double left-hander, then the right-hander, and goes over the finish line. The victory to Alif Hamilton.
No, yeah, we're still we're still in the final sector. We just came into stage.
There we go. Hockenheim. They all look the same after a while. I apologise. Getting excited. Take it over, Amo.
Right, here we go then. Coming up through the final 3 corners of the lap and the season, Alif will definitely take the victory here in front of Inigo Anton. But the championship most definitely belongs to Anton. As we now come out the final corner, Alif takes the spoils here. The war, though, belongs to Inigo Anton. What an absolutely brilliant season he's had.
Yeah, the victory, Alif Hamilton, congratulations to him. But huge, huge congratulations for the first time after 8 attempts. Inigo Anton is the champion of eRGP Gold Class. We'll just focus on the rest. We'll have a look at Nico Sage and how he gets on before we have a chat with Inigo Anton. I'm sure he'll hold on for us. Nico Sage has taken the victory already ahead of this final round of the season, ahead of this final race of the season. Nico takes another victory. It's a win double for Nico Sage. He has got himself a healthy lead over Sharik Zulkernaem. Once he got into P1, he's just raced away and he is class above. Looking forward to seeing how Nico develops into the top level. And there is Nico Sage. We will be talking to him just as soon as he goes over the finish line, which is coming up imminently.
Yep, and he will definitely go straight for the camera because every single time that he wins a race, he always looks towards his camera. He knows full well. There we go. Pumps the fist on his chest. He is absolutely ecstatic. And look at that. Bang on cue. Look straight at the camera, and I think we'll have a word with him.
Indeed, we will. Nico, are you tuned into us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I can.
Hey, congratulations. What a way to win the season. Back-to-back wins. And you look a class apart in the Silver Edition. Was that easy?
No, it wasn't easy. The middle part was interesting with the man in P2. It was hard to keep the pace up. My tires were going down a bit, and the rear tires were pretty much dead. But yeah, this season was amazing. A lot of fun.
So next season we'll actually be elevating you into the gold class, into the Alifs and the Inigo Antons. How will you practice? How you prepare for that kind of a challenge?
It's gonna be hard, but I'll try to practice as much as I can. But yeah.
Fantastic. Congratulations on a fabulous season. You are our champion for the Silver Edition, and please keep working as hard as you can at the racing. But don't forget your schoolwork as well.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well done, Nico Sage, the champion. But let's go straight into if Inigo Anton is possibly available for us. Inigo, at the 8th attempt, we will get on to you in just a second. At the 8th attempt, you finally got yourself this championship.
Yeah, actually, I think I missed the first global edition. I'm not sure, but yeah, finally, all I could say it's been such a really tough championship, especially with Alif. He's just been pushing me, and I knew going into this round that I had to put even extra effort to try and just beat him. Ever since Monday, I've just been putting in the hours, and it paid off in qualifying. And then race 1 didn't go to plan in the first lap, going into the gravel and everything, messing things up, but at least I was able to get back. And then I knew in the second race, I just had to finish right behind him and I will secure the championship. So very, very mentally straining, but, happy and super relieved.
Yeah, race 1 was the key for today. When you went into the gravel, I know in the commentary, both Amo and I were wondering whether or not you'd actually blown your opportunity, because you have blown opportunities in the past.
Yeah, definitely. It just going off the gravel, like right after that, I could just think of all the punctures and mistakes that I've had in E1 and eRGP. So it's like, I just had to stay calm. At least it was the first lap, so I had about 13 minutes to catch up, and eventually I was able to do it.
So I know how much work you put in because we follow your work on Facebook, but this is almost a full-time commitment for you now with eRGP and your real racing. What future do you see for yourself?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. Actually, I missed the third round because I had an endurance race in real life where he finished second overall. But yeah, it's just been really tough switching from back and forth from real cars to sim cars. But I know at the end of the day, it'll just help each other. You know, doing lots of hours in the sim also translate into the real world and vice versa. So, you know, just putting in as much time and have as much seat time, it just really helps me a lot.
Well, congratulations once again. We're thrilled. The work you've put in to get to the level of Alif is just astonishing. And Alex is in the background saying a big thumbs up to you. And to your fans in the Philippines, thanks to for their support to eRGP as well. We hope to see you around for Season 9. So, the champion, at long last,
Yes.
Inigo Anton. Thoughts on the season, Amo, very quickly?
Absolutely. Well, it was low at one point, but then it got really exciting towards the end because of the tied championship points. So really, the final round has absolutely delivered for both gold and silver. And for now, right, I see that Anton has not really sunk in that feeling yet because it looks as though he is conflicted. He is feeling achievement, but he has not felt it yet. So it will probably take a bit of time to sink in.
Yeah, well, he's worked so hard for it. So has Nico Sage. Nico will be elevated up to gold next season. In the bronze medal, Mohamed Zikri was still to confirm, but we think he's won the bronze by a single point. In fact, it is confirmed. And we had a three-way battle for the title in the Copper edition. So season 8 has possibly been our most competitive season yet.
Absolutely. With titles going to the final rounds of the season in 3 classes, that is just serving up a teaser for what's to come in future seasons, isn't it, Des?
Okay, all right. I think we've got one little thing before we go. We're going to talk to Cody, who was a guest appearance for Cody in the race here today. But Cody, if you can hear us, it seemed you had connectivity problems when you were going pretty well in race 1.
Yeah, first of all, hi. Thanks for having me for this final round. But yeah, I was having a bit of a issue with the internet actually. So somewhere in the middle of race 1, I got kicked out of the race. Cars were disappearing off track. I got thrown out of the Zoom call. So that was a bit of a shame. I couldn't rejoin for race 2. But yeah, it was nice while it lasted, and I had a good time, if anything. So this is just a little bit of a kind of a bittersweet motivation to maybe come back again for season 9 and give it a proper shot.
Well, we'd love you to come back. Thank you for your commitment to the other drivers, your professionalism, and actually staying on board, because it's so easy for you to drop out and go away. So that's very much in your favour as well. Can I ask, though, your thoughts on the opposition that you've come across? Inigo Anton has won the championship, and Alif Hamilton is a previous champion. Are you surprised by the quality of the racing that we have on Race Room in Asia?
Oh, definitely. I was really impressed by Anton's pace in qualifying. I don't think it was really that much down to the car, because as we know in Formula 90 there are 3 variants, and Anton and Alif, they were driving with the V8 variant, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And it seems like it has a little bit of an advantage out of corners, but still, for them to be that fast with ballast on and all that stuff and everything going on around them, that was really, really impressive. And I think that's just a testament to the quality of the drivers that are over there in that region. And yeah, if anything, it should be a nice chance for anyone because it's a global series, for any of the other drivers around the world that are interested to maybe come for a nice challenge. Obviously,
very good of you to say that.
Goal as well.
Yeah.
So
Please.
it would be interesting for sure.
Please spread the word for us. We're very excited to have you on board. Alex Young in particular was very, very happy that you agreed to join in. We're sorry the internet connectivity wasn't quite as strong, but we hope to see you in season 9.
Yep, I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so
Professionalism,
indeed, quite right, and a good example that tells that we've got we've still got Alif. He can still improve. Nakib can still improve. Inigo has shown you can improve dramatically.
yes, absolutely.
So season 8 comes to an end. Massive thanks to Alex Young and Amita, who do a vast amount of work behind the scenes, and all the guys who do all the timings, who do the stewarding. We've still got 1 or 2 stewarding issues that we need to sort out for this season. Season 8 has been and gone. Season 9 we will get onto you imminently. But from Amo Hazik, myself, Des Corkill, and particularly Alex Young, this has been the eRGP Season 8.